the Division One women's soccer bracket has been released, and I'm going to go over that. And I'm going to start like from the top left corner of the bracket and go clockwise. And the first and second rounds are November 10th, November 11th, or November 12th. While in the second and third round, like this round of 32 is Sweet 16, November 17th and 19th. Then, of course, the Elite Eight is November 25th or 24th. While the semifinals like December 1st and the finals are December 4th. And I will put the bracket in the description below, not just the particular days, the printable one, but bracket, but the website one as well, because that does have the times on there. On November, the 1 seed Florida State is hosting Morehead State on November 10th at 4 p.m. Central Time. And all the times I'm going to list are Central unless I say otherwise. So you could adjust down the line. The 8 seed Colorado, not Colorado, Texas A&M is hosting Colorado. The 5 seed Texas is hosting Lamar. And by the way, both those games are on November 10th, but the Texas game is at 6 p.m. while Texas A&M game is at 7 p.m. The 4 seed Wisconsin hosts Milwaukee November 10th at 7 p.m. The 3 seed Notre Dame is hosting Valpo on November 11th at 5 p.m. The 6 seed Memphis is hosting LSU November 11th at 7 p.m. The 7 seed Pitt is hosting Ohio State at 6 p.m. on November 11th. November 10th, the 2 seed Arkansas is hosting Grambling at 6:30 p.m. So yeah, that's one section of the bracket down. And this next region is very interesting when you look at the 1-2 seeds, and I explain why later. The 1 seed BYU is hosting Utah State on November 10th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I will say this, Utah State did beat BYU this year, but it was on the road. That's the difference than being in the Provo. But still, you know, the 8 seed USC is hosting Grand Canyon on November 10th at 4 p.m. The 5 seed Michigan State is hosting Ohio November 10th at 5 p.m. The 4 seed Harvard is hosting Maine on November 11th at 4 p.m. By the way, the Michigan State match is for sure November 10th. If I didn't say that right, if I did, I apologize. The 3 seed North Carolina is hosting Townsend. The 6 seed Alabama, the North Carolina match is November 10th at 5 p.m. The 6 seed Alabama is hosting Western Carolina November 10th at 5 p.m. The 7 seed Princeton is hosting Michigan on November 10th at 6 p.m. And the 2 seed Texas Tech is hosting Florida Gulf Coast at November 10th at 6 p.m. And what's interesting is BYU and Texas Tech played this year, and it ended in a 2-2 draw. And that was at BYU. So, okay, now the next section of the bracket, I'm going to start on the bottom up because it's the 1 seed is at the very bottom and going up. The 1 seed UCLA is hosting UC Irvine November 10th at 8 p.m. The 8 seed Gonzaga is hosting Idaho on November 11th at 7 p.m. The 5 seed Nebraska is hosting South Dakota State at November 10th at 7:05 p.m. On November 11th at 3 p.m., the 4 seed Xavier is hosting Tennessee. The 3 seed Brown is hosting Quinnipiac November 11th at 3 p.m. The 6 seed Mississippi State is hosting Providence on November 11th at 1 p.m. The 7 seed South Carolina is hosting James Madison on November 10th at 5 p.m. And the 2 seed Stanford is hosting Pepperdine November 10th at 8 p.m. And of course, we know UCLA played Stanford this year and all this, so yeah, that's kind of intriguing. And I'm going to check on who won that game, if it comes down to it. Okay, now the last part of the region is The 1 seed Clemson is hosting Radford November 10th at 6 p.m. The 8 seed Columbia is hosting Rutgers on November 12th at 11 a.m. The 5 seed Iowa is hosting Bucknell November 10th at 6 p.m. The 4 seed Georgia is hosting Liberty on November 10th at 3 p.m. The 3 seed Georgetown is hosting Old Dominion November 11th at 11 a.m. The 6 seed St. Louis is hosting Indiana at November 10th at 7 p.m. The 7 seed Santa Clara is hosting Arizona State November 11th at 3 p.m. And the 2 seed Penn State is hosting Central Connecticut State November 10th at 5 p.m. Central Time. And by the way, UCLA only lost one time this year, and it was to BYU. So yeah, but it was at BYU. Yeah, and it was a tie between Stanford and UCLA, by the way. And I'm going to say this right now, like, honestly, the highest seed available would host a round of 32 in Sweet 16. If, like, just say, for example, if seeds were played out, like the 1, 8, 5, and 4 in each region, the 1 would host. Of course, that's just for that section. And if it's like, for example, like the 2, 7, 6, and 3, they move. The highest one hosts. So just say, for example, like the 2 seed did lose the first round game by a surprise, the 3 seed would host as long as they win the first round game. And obviously, if you're the highest seed left in the tournament, you are going to host the Elite 8 match. So if the 1 seed wins out to the Elite 8 game, they're going to be hosting. If the 1 seed somehow loses, then it's the 2 seed and it's the 3 seed, but you get the whole point. In the second, third, like the round 32, Sweet 16 days, and I might have gone over this, but I'm not sure. If I did, I apologize. November 17th and 19th. The Elite 8 is like November 24th to 25th. The semifinals, obviously, the Final Four is like December 1st, and the finals 4 p.m. And I'm gonna, and we'll know on the time of the semifinal games later, because it's either 5 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. on ESPNU for both those games. But the championship game on December 4th is at 5 p.m. on ESPNU. So that's just an FYI on this. Maybe they should have switched Texas Tech and Stanford just so they don't have conference familiarity. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know. But that's just besides me on this. But I don't mind like Penn State and Florida State, like the 1 and 2 seeds, and both those regions play each other because they're not in the same conference. It's just a conference versus conference for the Elite 8. That doesn't make sense to me on 2 of those regions. It doesn't. And Clemson, actually, Clemson and Penn State, actually, not Florida State and Penn State, actually. My bad. I meant like Florida State and Arkansas. I don't mind that half of the bracket. I just think they might have made a mistake on putting the 1 and 2 seeds from the same conference in the same exact region. I mean, it's the truth. It could be a thing down the line that they're probably going to look back and say, uh-oh, we made a mistake there. And as we all know, this is the last year of the Pac-12 before it goes away. And it's going to be interesting what happens here. And like especially to Oregon State and Washington State, what they're going to do And we know Colorado, Utah, Arizona State going to the Big 12 next year. Stanford and Cal and SMU are going to the ACC next year. In addition, like USC, UCLA, Washington, Oregon are going to the Big 10. I mean, that's the thing. And Texas and Oklahoma are going to the SEC. So, yeah. So, anyways, if you like this content, like and subscribing. I see you guys later on the road to 600 subscribers. Of course, ultimate goal is 1,000 or more. So I can make money off this. Of course, liking the video, commenting the video really helps the YouTube algorithm so more people can see it. Sharing the video does help too. That broadens the audience. If you're watching, I appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed and you're watching, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and hit the notification bell as well. There are only like 31 automatic qualifiers in all this because that's just not many conferences, I believe. But I'm going to double check. Real fast on this. Yeah, there's only like 31 of those, like the America East, ACC, the A10, the A-Sun, Big East, Big Sky, Big South, Big 10, Big 12, Big West, Coastal, Conference USA, Horizon, Ivy, Metro Athletic, the MAC, Missouri Valley, Mountain West, Northeast, Ohio Valley, Pac-12, Patriot League, SEC, the SoCon, Southland, the SWAC, Summit League, Sunbelt, WAC, and West Coast Conference. So, yeah. And some of these obviously don't have a conference tournament, and some of them don't. So yeah, that's just a huge FYI on this. Like the Pac-12, for example, doesn't have one. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about this.